So I think it's been a mystery that's been on all of our minds ever since James Gunn announced that we would be getting a new Batman in the new DCU, in the new Brave and the Bold movie. And yes, it would not be, of course, Ben Affleck. We know that 95% of the actors from the DCAU have been fired. And I mean, this is obviously for the best at this point, because I mean, the last 6 movies, I don't even know if any of them did over 400 million, which is just absolutely crazy to think. But obviously, with a lot of these new announcements and whatnot, it's had a ton of people wondering, well, who is going to be the new Batman in James Gunn's universe? And of course, this has been even fueled more that the speculation has gone on us. I think a lot of people expected we might see an announcement maybe towards the end of this year, but with the actors and current writer's strike and whatnot that's going on, that could genuinely lead all the way into 2024. I think it's going to be quite a long time till we find out who's actually going to be the new Batman in the DC universe. And again, this has led a ton of people to theorize who it could be, myself included. I have made a video on this channel talking about who I would potentially cast to be the Batman in the DCU. But there was a rumor that went around a couple days ago that leaks did say that James Gunn had hired John Krasinski to play some type of role in the DCU. Some people were saying it would be Hal Jordan's Green Lantern, but I think with how we've heard James Gunn go about this and whatnot, I think it's probably going to be more of a younger Hal Jordan, similar to the age of what I think Ryan Reynolds was when he played Hal Jordan in the 2011 Green Lantern movie. And then a lot of people decided to then go on and speculate, well, has John Krasinski been cast to play the new Batman? Again, James Gunn actually went on Twitter, or I believe Threads, and said, we don't even have a script. The new DCU Batman casting rumor had been debunked by James Gunn, as he kind of completely just said, yeah, look, it's not happening. We don't even have a script for this movie. Actors and writers strike still going on. It's legitimately like, well, yeah, it's kind of obvious that they probably haven't cast a Batman, but I think they would have a lot in mind. And is John Krasinski a good fit? And in my opinion, I think he could be. I definitely see he could be. I think that some of these comments are being too harsh. If you actually read some of the comments on these posts, a lot of people are saying that he would be a terrible Batman and all of this stuff. Look, I'm not exactly too sure. If I was always to think of a superhero John Krasinski was going to play, I would have thought it would have been a more mellow kind of, calm, lighter superhero like Mr. Fantastic, who he legitimately ended up playing, obviously Reed Richards. And again, will he continue with that in the Fantastic Four movie? From what we're hearing, no. They offered those roles to Adam Driver and Margot Robbie. They, of course, apparently denied it, and now who even knows who they're going to? I've heard some of the other acting nominations for that. One of them was the dude who played the villain in Morbius, and I think he was in Doctor Who. And look, I didn't really like him that much in Morbius, but let's be honest here, that was probably not his fault, but I've just got that bad taste in my mouth, so no idea who's going to be in that. But getting a little bit off topic here, I don't know if John Krasinski is the guy that I would imagine to be playing Batman now. It really is going to be interesting on how is this Batman going to behave? Is he going to be a bit of a different, adaptation to what we have seen? Of course, I think with Christian Bale, his Batman was a very, I think what I consider to be in the prime of Batman's life. I felt like he was a pretty calm Batman. We look at Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck was, again, definitely much more on edge, a darker version who used weapons and stuff. A Batman we've never really seen before, completely like kind of new version that literally branded people in the movie. A very unhinged Batman. But when we saw him as Bruce Wayne, he was pretty calm. And then we know, of course, Robert Pattinson was kind of like this massive emo take of Batman and all of this type of stuff. I think with how John Krasinski is, if you were to hire him as Batman, you would probably get a pretty traditional type of Batman, a pretty traditional type of Bruce Wayne. Again, I think, in my opinion, with how I've seen kind of this DCU seems to be getting formatted, I think the big name superheroes are going to be played most likely by lower level actors. We obviously know the new guy who is being cast as Superman. Definitely, you know, David Corenswet definitely isn't a renowned actor. I believe he's only done 1 or 2 semi-popular shows, and not many people really know who he is. In fact, if you searched him up before he was cast as Superman, it was legitimately just edits of him being in a Superman costume, really. None of his other work. So, that's that. I've heard, you know, Jensen Ackles, again, he's in The Boys, which is a lot more renowned now, and he's also voice acted Batman before, but again, is still not really a B-lister, A-lister type of actor, but he seems like he could really don the role of Batman. One who I said in the previous video that I would like if they were to go for a big name, though, is I wonder if Jake Gyllenhaal would low-key be a good one. This one was floating back a couple of years ago, but it's kind of gone quiet now since they hired Robert Pattinson as the Batman. But something about Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler, if any of you guys have seen that, just being absolutely batshit crazy, would be something that I feel like we've never seen in film before with the Batman. I think when I look at that, I mean, Michael Keaton, some people might say was a little bit crazy, but if we're going to see a full-fledged Nightcrawler type of performance out of Jake Gyllenhaal, it'd be something similar to what we've seen previously in the comics, where we can see Batman get very unhinged, but not unhinged enough where he's, you know, kind of branding people, like whatever that shit was in Batman vs Superman. But like an unhinged, batshit crazy version, Jake Gyllenhaal would be pretty good at, and I think that would be really interesting. In my opinion, though, I just don't know. I think John Krasinski would be alright. I definitely wouldn't be mad at the idea. I just think, should they go with a lower actor, a cheap actor who, you know, is going to be committed to the role for quite some time in Jensen Ackles? Again, he would be I think a pretty good fit from some of the stuff we've seen. Again, I believe he's 6'1", has, I think, that good kind of look for it. Also has voice acted Batman before. He's kind of like prepared for this role now, and he's more of a cheaper type of direction if they want to take that. I feel like that's how we're probably going to see this acting choice be swung in the end. But again, it's going to be really interesting to see how this, of course, all does go. Definitely don't forget to comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Who would you guys cast to be the new Batman in DCU? I definitely would very much like to know. Don't forget to subscribe to my sports channel and my IRL/following channels. Links for them will all be in the description down below. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.